welcome to the vlog. Today's been a kind of weird day. Flew into, well, I didn't fly, drove in, although it felt like flying for bits of it, into Westminster this morning. Got back by like 2:45, which was amazingly quick. Didn't really have any need to hang around, so got back after playing. And what I'm doing now is I am trying to find one of the unreleased tracks from the Jazz Vespers session, which is Abide With Me, which Alison sang on. Now, we did it in two sessions. We recorded the band first, and then we did Alison's vocal later, simply because of the way the session worked out. Normally with jazz, you like to record it all together. And actually, that's an interesting tidbit for the Jazz Vespers CD. If you haven't heard this, or it's the first time watching your vlog, this is my latest album. All the tracks, apart from the one, actually, no, that was on this track anyway. Sorry, apart from Amazing Grace and the Beat Poet on Walk With Me, were all recorded live in the building, in the room. No kind of overdubs, no no kind of multiple takes over the top. There were a few takes of some of the songs, but most of them we just didn't have the time. And also with jazz, you kind of want to record everybody together. It's kind of quite a crucial thing. Anyway, I can't find the audio files for Alison's vocals, which is getting me a bit stressed. So I thought it'd be quite nice to talk about sort of different audio workstations and what I've used, and kind of having to dip back into Pro Tools again. It's kind of making me realise how much I love Logic. Now, Logic is Apple's kind of pro, it's like their Final Cut. How you've got iMovie, which is kind of bundled, and Final Cut is for kind of more power users. Same thing with the music software. You've got GarageBand, and it's GarageBand, not GarageBand. I'm only joking, Americans. You've got GarageBand, and then you've got Logic Pro as kind of the pro software, and I do prefer Logic. I mean, Pro Tools has just been a pain in the rear end again now, trying to let me in there, but I understand why studios like to use it. It's a good kind of crossbench software, and certainly if I'm doing any session work here, if the studio wants the file, or they quite often will send me a Pro Tools file, so I've kind of got to use Pro Tools. But when I'm using Pro Tools, I just get frustrated because it's not Logic's logical. And again, all know I'm a Mac fanboy, so it kind of works through that Apple philosophy of how things should be and where they should be. Whereas I find Pro Tools is a bit kind of nonsensical. It's a bit like Sibelius, software. You kind of have to use it, but there must be better ways of doing it. And I kind of wish Apple would make a software program, a music notation software program, like, do Sibelius better, because I'm sure they could. But in terms of digital audio workstations I've worked with over the years, my kind of very early experience was on Cubase, and there was another piece of software on the Atari ST, which I can't remember. I think it began with N, but if you can remember, please comment below and sort of fire that memory. I definitely remember working on something in school when I was in sort of year 8, year 9 on the Atari ST. We then had something else, maybe I think was Cubase when I was at school, because it's PC based. When I got to sixth form, we were working on Digital Performer on Macs, and then got onto Logic on the big sort of Tower G4s at the sort of turn of the sort of century, kind of when I was at Lancaster working there, and that was very early versions of Logic, and it was good, and that's how I kind of got into Macs, and we almost did everything exclusively on Logic. There was another audio, maybe we had Pro Tools as well then, but I just found Logic easier to use. Then when I was teaching music technology, we again went back to Cubase, simply because I was a PC fan. Well, I wasn't a fan, I just used PCs because it was easier to build and it was cheaper. But then I realised how much time I spent trying to get everything to talk to each other, and came back and went back to Logic again. And I've been through various versions of Logic as I go along. I just find it easier to work with. You might find Cubase easier to work with. Cubase was certainly pretty good, and there are things like Ableton Live, and there's a myriad of different software programs out there, but the vast majority of professionals that I know, musicians tend to use Logic, audio engineers tend to use Pro Tools. I guess that kind of says it. Musicians kind of want a workstation that is quick and easy to use and allows them to make music, whereas audio engineers are after the complete best fidelity of sound, and that's probably what Pro Tools gives them. And it is an incredibly powerful piece of kit, kind of with all the different plugins. And when I was in the studio mixing Jazz Vespers, kind of seeing how Lee was kind of using real plugins, and it was pretty impressive kind of how they did it. And Lee was amazingly fast on Pro Tools, far faster than I was, but he saved my bacon because he's got a backup file of the audio file, so I'm really pleased with that. Because I've kind of been hinting at it for a little while, I've got a very special video to shoot for you in the next few weeks, and it's kind of been dominating my thoughts about how I'm going to do this video. It's not going to be a vlog, as I said. I'll probably vlog around that because I'm going to Germany as well. My brother's coming with me. But for this really special video on this road trip, I've been doing loads of research. It's been really interesting. And so this week I'll be heading up north. It's half term, and the kids are going to come with me and see my parents. And then I'm going to go off and do a little bit of filming around. But I want this audio track as one of the beds for this video, and I kind of came to it. I haven't listened to it since August, really. Kind of came to it thinking, right, I'll just have a little look at it. I'll do a bit of a basic mix myself, using my ears and kind of those kind of things, and get this audio ready for this. And then I can't find the vocal track, which has really got me annoyed.
Good, Charlie. I got gooder than the music, Daddy. Got better than it because girls are better than the music.
There you go, that's how I do it. In terms of which is the best audio workstation to get, I would say if you're starting out and you've got an iPad, the £3 version of GarageBand is it's just insane how much you get for £3. And again, GarageBand is pretty good on a Mac, if you're just using a normal Mac. For the vast majority of people, you just don't need what Logic's got. Don't blow your money on Logic. Keep your GarageBand. If you're going to spend money, maybe spend it on loops. And I'm going to show you some things with loops in a future vlog. But don't spend a lot of time kind of spending lots of software. If you find yourself doing audio mixing every day and you've got a band, you want a multi-track, then yeah, I definitely get Logic. If you're a power user, then you probably already know about Pro Tools, and maybe you can teach me how to use it, because I have this love-hate relationship with it. I kind of think, okay, I know I need to use it, and I use it for different things. And certainly if I've been working on something where I've been the leader and I've had an engineer, they will give me a Pro Tools file, so I need Pro Tools that way. But I'm far faster in Logic. Anyway, this week, as I say, I'm heading up north, so I'll be able to vlog about that, and I'm hopefully going to keep up the practice and show you some other different things. Thanks for watching the vlog. Don't forget, if you can subscribe by going over here and clicking on my little saxophone face, and make sure you check out these videos below. And if you haven't already seen this one, make sure you check it out right now.